Statistics are incredibly important for performance in any relational database system. But how do they work in a Microsoft Fabric data warehouse? Next on Tales from the Field.
Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
This is your first time finding your way over to Tales from the Field. Give us a like and give us a subscribe. We drop content every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On Monday, we have our MS Tech Bits. On Tuesday, we have our Azure Data Community Roundtable, where we feature content from the creators in the Azure Data Community for the Azure Data Community. And then on Wednesday, we have our MS Tech Bits. This is where we take a technical topic and we help try and solve it for you. This is one of those videos you're watching right now. Let's get over to that great content. So let's talk a little bit about why statistics are important. In a relational database engine, I need to make a query execution plan. It's kind of helping me figure out where my data is. So that way, when I write a query, I say, select this from this. It knows what to go get and what to pull back for me, the user. Well, it doesn't automatically know what's on the physical disk, and it would be incredibly inefficient if it went and looked at all the data before it began to run the query to be able to bring us back our data. So we use something called statistics to provide a shortcut. That shortcut allows us to guess. We use something called heuristics, which is a really fancy word, which essentially means guessing with an algorithm. So we can understand the statistics of the data, how much CPU, how much memory, how much IOPS we're going to need to pull back the request of our query. So it really is fundamental in helping with performance and making sure that we get the best query plan possible. So understanding how we use statistics is really key. So we're in our Fabric workspace and we're going to go to our data warehouse, and this is how we're going to connect to SQL, right? We go in, we get our copy SQL connection string, we click copy, then we head right over to SSMS, and what we'll be able to do is click connect database engine. We plug this in and then we hit connect, boom, we're good to go. Now, after we've connected, I'm going to expand and we're going to look at our database a little bit. So I'm going to start by expanding databases. And then I'm going to look specifically at our baseball database. So it's just what we'll be using in this demo. Tables wise, I'm going to be looking at DEM customer specifically. And I want us to be able to see the columns that we have with this. So here I am in SSMS, and I'm going to open up my script. This is going to be in my GitHub repository if you want to get it. And I'm going to start out with a script that I would typically use if I were in SQL Server to take a look at statistics. This still works. We've got the same DMVs, but as you can see, it just shows me here's my clustered index, my statistics date, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. This would work just fine, but I want to find something different because you see, we've got some really cool new types of statistics within a Fabric database. Jumping over to our documentation, we're looking at statistics in Fabric data warehousing. The link to this document is in the description of the video, so check it out. We're going to look at types of automatically generated statistics. You can see we have new types. Average column length statistics. These are created for character columns at query runtime. The objects contain the average row size. The name begins with ACE average column length. That's important to understand and remember. The contents can't currently be viewed by the user. Our second is a table-based cardinality statistic created per table needing cardinality estimation at query runtime. They are named ACE-cardinality. Also, the contents cannot be viewed by the user. But these two objects, we're going to see them when we look at our statistics DMV, when we also look at the statistics in SSMS or over on Azure Data Studio. So important to keep in mind what these are. Very important new statistics, but we're going to focus on the histogram statistics. So back in SSMS, we're going to keep going. And one of the things I want to show is how to look at our automatically generated statistics. Automatically generated statistics have an underscore WA. If you're wondering why they have an underscore WA, it's because the original query engine we're using came from SQL Server, which was birthed in Redmond, Washington. These are gifts from the query engine from that team to use. So if you see underscore WA, it's always going to be an automatically generated statistic. So what we're going to use in Fabric is, here's a query that I would use to be able to see all the different types of statistics we have. So if we go ahead and run this, and I'm filtering this specifically where we only have user table, so I can see there's my dim customer, my dim date. I can see some automatically generated statistics on my dim date column, but I can also see these ACE average column length and table statistics as well that we just talked about. So let's take a look specifically at dim customer. I can see that we've got our column length statistics, but I don't have any statistics that I've generated yet specifically. In the description, you can see streaming statistics computed by Create, Update Statistics, and Auto Statistics. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's create some. This is pretty simple, and if you're familiar with this in SQL, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to create a customer statistic on my customer key. I'm going to say with a full scan. I could also update with a full scan as well if you're ever looking to generate an update for the statistics, which could be important for maintenance. But I can do a DBCC show statistics, and I get this. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is not a 200-step histogram. This is actually tracking a histogram for the cardinality of everything that I have, because every key is unique within this table. Kind of an interesting difference, but the density is very unique. If I do a select statement with using this as a where predicate value, I'm going to get a unique value. I can also use a DBCC show statistics with show histogram, so I can get the entire histogram if this is something I want to look at. I can also drop the statistics. Now, there's not really a reason to drop the statistics, but this is just to show that we can clean this up and drop it. Statistics are going to be a very small size, so you don't ever need to look at saving space in your database by doing this. Looking at dim customer, I can see the drop statistic work. We're back to the beginning. Now, it's important to realize these automated statistics are going to come when we select a column. Perhaps we have a group by, a where predicate value, or a join condition. So I'm going to run this query: select customer postal code count from dim customer, group by customer, and postal code. This should create a couple statistics for us that are auto-generated based off how I'm using my statistics. So the query comes back very, very fast. And now if I come and I look at this, I can see here's our statistics, and I have two statistics that have been created with the underscore WA, one for customer, one for postal code. If I come back, I can take that statistic and I can specifically take its name and put it in the DBCC show statistics. So that way I can run this, and then we can view the statistics. We can see when it was created, when it was last updated. We can see the distinction. And again, very interesting fact, not a 200 row histogram. This has the unique cardinality for every row because these are unique values. We're going to have to play around with this a little bit more in the future, but really, really neat stuff. So what did we cover today? Well, we covered a lot. We took our first look at statistics inside of Microsoft Fabric data warehousing. We learned about our two new types of statistics, our column level and also our table level, that are auto-generated on the creation and import of the data when we're loading it into our tables. Then also we talked about the more traditional histograms that we're used to using, that are used by query plans to be able to optimize the way that we're going to find our data for query patterns. Do you have any questions? Is there anything you'd like to cover that we didn't? You know where we like to keep this going, down in the comments. Please sound off. We appreciate you so much, all of you out there. Thank you so much for joining us on Tales from the Field. Have a great day and be good to one another out there. Bye, everybody.
Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration, and if I make